Welcome to Global Watch. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. In the theater of global geopolitics, a shocking twist has left diplomats and strategists reeling. The world's attention is now fixed on Asia, where a single, unexpected move has upended the established order and sent ripples through every major capital. North Korea, long isolated and sanctioned, has pledged military support to the Philippines against China. This announcement, coming from a nation notorious for its secrecy and unpredictability, has stunned even the most seasoned observers. This move has sent shockwaves across the Indo-Pacific, upending decades-old assumptions about alliances and rivalries. Suddenly, the region's delicate balance of power is in flux, and every government is scrambling to assess the new risks and opportunities. For years, North Korea was seen as China's client, the Philippines as a U.S. ally, and the South China Sea as a clear battleground. The lines seemed clear, the players predictable, and the stakes well understood. Now, Pyongyang's gambit shatters these certainties, forcing every major power to rethink its strategy. The diplomatic chessboard has been thrown into chaos, and no one is quite sure what the next move will be. The implications are enormous, touching everything from global trade to nuclear deterrence. Shipping lanes, economic partnerships, and military alliances are all suddenly in question as leaders weigh the risks of escalation and miscalculation. North Korea, once defined by its opposition to the US and its allies, is now offering to protect one of them. A surreal, diplomatic maneuver. This reversal challenges not only old enmities but also the very logic of regional security. The South China Sea, a vital artery for global commerce, is now the stage for this audacious move. Billions of dollars in trade pass through these waters, and any disruption could have far-reaching consequences for the world economy. The world watches, uncertain if this is genuine solidarity or a ploy with deeper, more dangerous aims. As analysts debate the true motivations behind North Korea's offer, one thing is clear. The rules of the game in Asia have changed, and the next chapter is unwritten. To grasp North Korea's offer, we must understand the South China Sea's bitter history. This region is a cauldron of competing claims, coveted for its resources and strategic value. China's sweeping nine-dash line clashes with the exclusive economic zones of Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, and especially the Philippines. Tensions have escalated, with Chinese vessels aggressively confronting Philippine boats at flashpoints like Scarborough Shoal. These are not isolated incidents, but part of Beijing's sustained campaign of intimidation, gray zone warfare at its finest. The Philippines, under relentless pressure, has sought to bolster its defenses and rally international support. It's in this climate of rising peril that North Korea's unexpected overture arrives. On January 14, 2025, North Korea stunned the world with a declaration that few could have predicted, sending shockwaves through diplomatic circles and newsrooms across the globe. Pyongyang announced its readiness to provide military assistance to the Philippines if China were to launch an attack, a move that immediately raised eyebrows and set off urgent discussions among world leaders. The statement, broadcast by North Korea's tightly controlled state media, was unequivocal. "We stand ready to assist the Philippines in defending its sovereignty against imperialist aggression." The message was clear, direct, and left little room for misinterpretation. This announcement marked a direct challenge to China, North Korea's longtime patron and ally, and signaled a dramatic break from decades of carefully managed policy. For years, Pyongyang and Beijing have maintained a complex relationship, but this declaration hinted at a possible rift that could reshape regional alliances. The Philippines, caught in the middle of this geopolitical storm, responded with diplomatic caution. While Manila welcomed any support for its sovereignty, it stopped short of endorsing Pyongyang's offer, wary of the potential consequences. Accepting military help from a heavily sanctioned nuclear-armed state like North Korea would risk complicating Manila's crucial ties with the United States, Japan, and South Korea, nations that have long been its partners in security and trade. China, unsurprisingly, swiftly condemned North Korea's move as blatant interference in regional affairs, warning of serious repercussions and accusing Pyongyang of destabilizing the delicate balance in Asia. Meanwhile, Washington and its allies expressed deep skepticism, questioning North Korea's motives and the sincerity of its offer, while also voicing concerns about the broader implications for regional security. Around the world, analysts and citizens alike were left wondering, is this a genuine proposal, a calculated bluff, or perhaps a sign of deeper realignment and shifting loyalties in Asia's ever-changing geopolitical landscape? One thing is certain, North Korea's bold gambit has thrown the region's power dynamics into disarray, leaving governments scrambling to reassess their strategies in the face of this unprecedented declaration. North Korea's offer landed as the Philippines was already building a robust network of security partnerships. President Marcos Jr. has pivoted away from Beijing, revitalizing the U.S. alliance and granting American forces expanded access to Philippine bases. The deployment of U.S. missile systems to Luzon signals a deepening commitment, drawing Beijing's ire. Manila has also forged strategic ties with South Korea, acquiring advanced military hardware and expanding cooperation on cyber defense. Japan has become a vital partner, ratifying military access agreements and boosting maritime security aid. India and Australia have joined in, supplying missiles and shifting focus to maritime deterrence. This web of alliances is the true context for North Korea's move, a bid to insert itself into an increasingly crowded security landscape. The Philippines now stands at the center of a complex, multi-layered coalition. The world's response to North Korea's declaration was a complex blend of caution, condemnation, and deep skepticism. Governments and analysts across the globe scrambled to interpret Pyongyang's motives, unsure whether this was a genuine overture or a calculated provocation designed to unsettle the status quo. The announcement sent shockwaves through diplomatic circles, with many leaders convening emergency meetings to assess the potential fallout. The Philippines, wary of alienating key allies, acknowledged the gesture without fully embracing it. Filipino officials used the moment to highlight growing international concern over China's assertive actions in the region, carefully balancing their response to avoid escalating tensions. Behind closed doors, policymakers debated whether engaging with North Korea could offer new leverage or simply invite greater instability. China reacted with visible anger, interpreting the move as a public rebuke from its only formal treaty ally and a potential crack in the facade of socialist solidarity. Chinese officials denounced the offer as reckless, warning that it could undermine regional unity and embolden adversaries. State media quickly moved to control the narrative, emphasizing Beijing's resolve to maintain its influence. The United States, Japan, and South Korea dismissed the offer as little more than a diplomatic stunt, expressing concern that it could sow discord within their alliances. Officials in Washington, Tokyo, and Seoul worried that North Korea's gambit was designed to exploit divisions and weaken their collective stance against Pyongyang's provocations. For South Korea and Japan, the development was especially alarming. It signaled North Korea's willingness to disrupt regional security far beyond the Korean peninsula, raising fears of a new era of unpredictability. Security experts warned that even a symbolic shift in alliances could have far-reaching consequences for military planning and diplomatic engagement. The offer sparked intense debate within Manila, with lawmakers and citizens alike weighing the risks and potential benefits of engaging with such an unpredictable actor. Some saw an opportunity to assert the Philippines' independence on the world stage, while others cautioned against entanglement in North Korea's dangerous games. North Korea's gambit has further complicated the region's already tangled web of alliances and rivalries, forcing countries to reconsider their strategies and alliances in light of new uncertainties. The diplomatic chessboard has never been more unpredictable, with every move now carrying the potential to reshape the balance of power in East Asia and beyond. Why would North Korea risk angering China with such a provocative move? Experts agree, it's not about defending Manila, but about boosting Pyongyang's relevance and leverage. By inserting itself into the South China Sea dispute, North Korea demands a seat at the table in broader regional security talks. The move signals to Beijing that Pyongyang won't be treated as a mere client state, and that its support can't be taken for granted. It's also a message to the US and its allies, injecting chaos into their strategic planning and complicating the narrative of democracies versus autocracies. North Korea hopes to drive a wedge between the Philippines and the US, creating friction within the alliance. Ultimately, Pyongyang is acting as a strategic spoiler, seeking influence by disrupting the existing order. Its gambit forces every major player to pay attention and to recalculate. North Korea's entry, even if rhetorical, has immediate consequences for Asia's security landscape. For the Philippines, it's a double-edged sword, psychological reinforcement, but also political risk if ties with Pyongyang threaten support from Washington, Tokyo, and Seoul. For China, it's a diplomatic embarrassment, exposing cracks in its control over allies and undermining its narrative of regional unity. The move could embolden other small nations and force Beijing to expend resources reigning in Pyongyang. In the Philippines, the offer has ignited public debate. Some see validation, others fear entanglement with a dictatorship. The risk of miscalculation rises. A symbolic gesture from North Korea could trigger a regional crisis. The South China Sea is now even more volatile, demanding careful management from all sides. The stakes for peace and stability have never been higher. North Korea's involvement casts a shadow over the global economy. The South China Sea is a critical artery, with $3.4 trillion in trade passing through annually. Heightened tensions and the presence of another nuclear-armed state increase risks for shipping and insurance, potentially raising costs and causing delays worldwide. Southeast Asian economies, deeply reliant on maritime trade, face the threat of disruption and lost investment. The Philippines, at the epicenter, must balance security needs with economic imperatives. China is its largest trading partner, but the US is its key ally. The world is reminded how fragile global prosperity is when a single flashpoint can threaten supply chains and prices everywhere. The stability of the South China Sea is not just a regional issue, it's a global concern. North Korea's gambit is a stark warning of how quickly geopolitics can endanger economic well-being. We stand at a crossroads in the Indo-Pacific, where old alliances blur and new dangers emerge. North Korea's promise to defend the Philippines is more than a headline. It's a symptom of a fractured world order. The region now faces shifting allegiances, unpredictable actors, and the constant risk of miscalculation. The path forward demands renewed diplomacy, stronger alliances based on shared values, and wise resistance to disruptive actors. For China, it's a moment to reconsider aggressive tactics that open the door to unpredictable spoilers. The future of the Indo-Pacific, peaceful and lawful, or dominated by coercion, hangs in the balance. The choices made now will shape Asia's destiny for generations.